I'm not gonna lie, my heart's a little conflicted this morning. So if my message comes out anything but the purest, please take it back to the Most High. Show him what I'm trying to tell. I mean, let him show you what I'm trying to talk about. 'Cause this one's got a whole lot of heart in it. Today, my life will be on a black canvas. I'll actually be trying for toris tree on a very bright sunrise behind. Um, I I've really been encouraged by Tori's room. It's just a place that you can go and just hang out. It's an elders camp, you know. There's a level of respect that's absolutely necessary in that place. But the way that she encourages and the way that her community encourages people is awesome. So I want to do this piece to encourage her to keep it up because sometimes it's hard in here. You know, trolls act crazy. Hey, yeah, first. Hi, Sophia. And real odds and evens. You're a real one, man. For real. You also, I hold up your heart too, man. How you be coming with no judgment, just trying to bless people. I appreciate that, man. That really shows who you're really working for. So my heart's really conflicted today on how to go about this message because it's so because I'm kind of hurt, you know. I tried to bring somebody into the family, and then I went back to their live, and they admonished me on everything that they could get their hands on. They just tried to pick me apart, whether it was my AI shorts. They were saying that I had no creativity in me because I was using AI, or whether it was copy and pasting stuff from AI. He went around to try to um, discredit me on, and he was doing it all very vaguely too. But he tried to say that because I smoked weed, that everything I had was needed to be accredited to smoking weed, and just a lot of very judgmental things. And I'm just very disappointed in this individual because from his gift, I saw that he is I saw his gift before I saw his person. And so getting closer and seeing a religious spirit in there just hurt a lot. So this is coming honestly from a heart of pureness in the way that like I wanna I wanna teach the difference today between a real person and somebody who's in it to prove that somebody else is wrong. Because Tori's room is very much real people, man. They're not there to judge you. They're there to encourage you. I hope you had a good day. Come and enjoy the sunset with us. You know, which is a whole lot different than trying to pick apart a personality and based on things that you don't know, man. If you're admonishing in the spirit, if you're telling people off, or if that's the words, if you're trying to help somebody, like let's say somebody's got a drug habit, what good does it do to be like, oh, well, you're never going to be able to talk to God because you have that drug habit? You think God's hiding from them because they're no. God doesn't hide. He screams at the gates. He screams in everybody the truth of it. So go to that person in a heart of love. How did you get saved? Man, I got saved. I was a thief. I was a whore. I loved everything besides God. And even sometimes I was the loudest one in the room because that's my gift, man. But I've really been moved to be gentle with people because everything you do in on and offline, everything you do in your life is a chance for somebody to hear the message of Christ. That no matter where they're at, they can be forgiven. Isn't that beautiful? No matter what your debt is, you be forgiven. And that the only perfect one that ever did it completely perfect was Christ, period. Not Noah, not Moses. All these people had shortcomings, and God's plain about that in the scripture. He doesn't try to hide it, He doesn't try to gloss over, you know? Like you think it was too irony that as soon as Noah was free, he was finally free from this world that was so evil that God wiped it clean. As soon as he was free, he got naked, started getting drunk. You think that was the most holy thing? No. But still, God stood behind him. Just saying, because God knows He knows exactly where we're at, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. And I'm really appreciative. I mean, that's the other part of this is I very much see how um I draw people's hearts, people that are very heartful and very, like we need that. I need that presence from God. I don't need you guys to understand where I don't know exactly how to say this, but like I need that presence from God. I need those moments when I can help somebody. I need that to keep me strong. I don't need to pull anybody else down to prove that God exists or to prove like that's stuff taught by men. That's not how the Holy Spirit works. He works like Galatians 5. He works in love, long suffering, you know? I think people like that, I'm just from now on, it's if they have a religious spirit, first of all, it will be told. It will be told that that same religious spirit that's functioning in them will come out in other places. You'll see that same energy repeated, which is how I knew what it was when he started at me. Because I've had that before, man. They want to try to pull down everything, anything they can get their hands on, but none of it is supported by the spirit. So the whole time he's telling me off, I'm hearing the spirit tell me the truth of it. Reminded me of certain scriptures. Reminded me of certain scriptures like that. It can't be a temptation. So everything is cleaned by Christ. Does that mean that you should be in the temples of idols so that when that's weak, that could be likely taken advantage of in a place like that? You wouldn't want them in there. So it's like I understand that. And so I never tried to glorify weed. I never tried to do any of that, man. I know it can be a distraction for some people. I do, and I know it was a distraction for me, and I had to come to a balance with it. And every time, all the time, anytime I consume, period, it's communion. Anytime I consume, I'm sitting down with God. And I mean, on food, on anything. If it's not that, then it's not real. And the medicine's not going to work the same. So I hold you up and encourage you all who have my back because you see Christ shining through me. This is what, like, really makes me feel like I'm doing this for a good reason. When I can see y'all being encouraged, and I can see y'all right where you're at, and I can see you starting to show the fruits of the Spirit, and I can see you growing in Christ. I don't. It's not my place to judge where somebody's at, but only where they're going. You hear what I'm saying? And be gentle, because some things seem so obvious to us when we've been in the movement for a while. Some things seem so obvious, but we forget that that's because it was reminded to us so many times. It's like, yeah, that should be second nature by now. Consistency of thoughts, that should be second nature by now. You know, keeping your eyes on Christ, that should be second nature to you by now. But maybe it's not to somebody else. So you won't hear me on here judging. You won't hear me on here picking apart people's personalities. If I have an issue with habits that somebody has, I just unsubscribe. I just don't mess with them in the hope that one day they come back and they're more in a way that they won't contaminate people. Because I do have a responsibility in Christ to build up, to empower. I do have a responsibility to watch after the people that God puts in my life for a reason. And by watch after, I mean encourage, man. Encourage. And sometimes it's in an admonishing way, but say they do something that I don't like, then the best thing I can do is give them the actual scriptures. Let them eat the bread for themselves. Otherwise, are they going to come back to me? Want another dose of bread? No, you're going to need to go back to Jesus for another dose of bread. Hear me. Alright, let me get back to this chat. Woo! Hi, Subi. Rome Dog. Audrey. Whoa, Audrey came in. Audrey never been here before. I know you don't really care about subs and all that, Audrey, but you want to jump around to everybody? Be more than welcome. You good people, even though you be nasty sometimes. I have Nightbot? No, that's nobody. Okay, that's funny. I did try to get Nightbot on here, nobody. That's funny. Yeah, Rome Dog, I try, bro, I try. This glare is kind of hard to see where my canvas is, I guess. Be my big old head. Yeah, that's a little difficult. I might fix that window real quick. I hope y'all are not taking none of this lightly. I mean to say, I hope that um if in any of this you feel convicted, that you feel like you've been in situations like that where you're trying to prove something that's of you and not of God, I hope that you go back through and ask for apologies, even if you know you're never gonna. I mean, ask for forgiveness from these people, even if you know they're never gonna be in your life again. Just try to mitigate the harm. Okay, this vow to follow Christ is like a vow in the Old Testament. It is a vow of purity of soul and chastity. So not doing the evil things. And for me, it's to do no harm. It's always been to do no harm. It's always been to do no harm. These gifts are awesome. They're truly magnificent. But if you don't know how to use them, you're likely to harm somebody. You have to be so careful on everything you put out. Now, does that mean be disempowered? No, man. When the Spirit says to do it, do it. I don't care if it's your friends. I don't care if, you know, I mean, sometimes knowledge is what somebody needs, you know? So let the Spirit flow through you. But you'll notice that doesn't come in a way of hatred. Spirit moves in love, not envy and strife. So with your vow to the Lord to do no harm, understand that with these gifts you could do harm, very much so. We have prophecy, but the devil works in prophecies too, man. Those um watchers, those uh wicked ones, they have prophecy, they send dreams, you know. Amen. My phone makes weird noises when somebody messages sometimes. Okay, switch back to the text real quick. Man, I am really grateful. You're so a boss, right? I mean, no, man, it's the one that's in me. I'm nothing, man. I could die today and there'll be very few who would even notice. But the ones that would notice because of the things that God's done through me. And I definitely knew it wasn't me because I ain't nothing. I ain't nothing. I mess up all the time. So we got our basic red on the back, and we'll go through with a little bit of blue clouds. And then at the very end, put the sun beaming around the tree. But if this man comes in the chat today, I'm a block dude because I can't have religious spirits fucking around, man. We're not here to condemn by our own. What are my own understandings going to condemn somebody? No, as I judge, I'll be judged. So I'll be held to that same account, man. No, I'd rather be encouraging because I want people to be encouraging with me. If there is things in me that is contaminatable, I mean, if I'm overlusting, if I'm looking at a thing wrong, I absolutely know that the Spirit will point it out to me. But He won't point it out to people around me. He won't work the same way in other people. So what point do I have in judging a thing? The Spirit calls me to call something out, then I do it. But otherwise, I have to accept people where they're at. Because what that was there too, and that's why I especially love um, Tori's room because it's not. I want a place like that for us, where it's not a judgment thing, but it's an encouraging thing. Don't give up. Don't give up. When it gets the darkest, is when you need the Most High more. Pray to Him and watch Him show up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't turn back from the good progression that you've had in your personal life. Continue in the way that the Father's laying out to you. And don't take none of this here, electronics, don't take none of this here, YouTube stuff for granted. Or don't let the devil trick you into thinking that you're just wasting your time. Because we have a platform where literally anyone can be told, turn on your phone, go to this channel. And if you don't think that, then experience it yourself. God, what do you want me to learn from the internet today? And then type in the search bar what the Father tells you. It might be names. It might be it might tee off a certain sermon. When I was in the middle of all my crazy stuff, I had the Father tell me a certain preacher, and I went to that preacher's name that he told me, and sure enough, it was exactly what the Father wanted me to know. Um, if you have a certain preacher that you particularly dig, that you particularly resonate with, maybe go through their socials and search the words that the Father wants you to see, so that you get the sermon that He wants you to get. And then don't be so judgmental, but see that the Lord blesses us all. You hear me now? But please do get encouraged by the Lord. Please do let Him give you reasons not to give up. And also see that God calls some wild people. He calls the people that have been through hell and back. You think you will go through hell and be all unscathed? No, you're going to have marks. You're going to have scars. There's things that I saw down there that I can't forget. And I always watch out for it. And I always will warn people. And even though I don't understand exactly what that place was, because it wasn't hell, maybe it's like a holding area. Maybe it's more like a temporary hell. But I know that there's souls there. Y'all might want to look up, for any of y'all curious about the biblical, or at least the Old Testament way of looking at death, you could look up where dreams come from. Um, it's a kind of an older movie, but it really tries to go out of its way to present how the Old Testament actually said death is. And I mean, I was at first kind of offended by that movie, and then as I started praying on it and realizing things about it, it's like, wow, there's a lot of truth in that one. Where dreams may come, I think is what it's called. Check on the chat. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Heart of Fire. Something like a real bright sunset. It's to a certain lady down here that does a chat, and a lot of her lives are just you watching the sun go down. Freaking peaceful. I really love it. Subi, who you just saw up here, does like the other half of that live, and then Tori, who is probably doing her own stuff right now, is the main one that this is actually going to be her tree. It's in her front yard and in her lives. I can't really see it though. I better drop something. I better drop a curtain over the thing. If I haven't said it before, and if you don't know, oh my goodness, guys, I'm very blessed to have the kind of family I got around me. I tend to draw people in, real solid individuals, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful for that. That we're all called in different ways. We all understand God different. We all understand the mission different a little bit, but we're all drawn together. We watch after each other. We don't come with a heart of judgment. Yeah, you can see it a little better now. message if I didn't say it loud enough before. Oh man, is it a blessing to be part of this group? Just saying. There's something special going on here. So let's look at the end. This is the end, man. The Spirit talks about, in the Bible, it talks about little cities. It says that God will call us out of the cities, will call us out of captivity and into kind of like refuge cities, I guess you say. So let's say you got people that are very judgmental, and this is that time. Somebody comes onto you and sees your fruit. Are they going to want to bring you to the city? If your heart is still on being right, are they going to want to bring you to the city? Proving somebody else is wrong to affirm your own faith, are they going to want to bring you to the city? No, they're going to want to bring people that know that they need that forgiveness of Christ. You're going to bring on people that are using every resource that they can find to get the message out. People that are encouraging and aren't boastful and sure of themselves like that. So I sure hope I'm one of those people, because I sure do want freedom. Okay, there's a little bit of a background. I sure do want freedom. A day when we don't have to worry about making money, but we can worry about serving God, What's your job for today? Spirit wake you up and tell you to go get water for a certain camp? Yeah, I'm with that, dude. For sure. For sure. Tell you your job today is to go talk on the phone for 5 hours. You're going to look at that and be like, oh, that's wasting my time. Because you're still serving the money God. My God is in all things. Comes a add a little tree line in here. To be clear, I am not shit. If you guys knew me before God did something for me, before God started proving himself to me through signs that I couldn't have done my own. If you guys had known me before that, you would have just thought I was just another big mouth idiot. Because that's exactly what I was, man. I was a thief. I wouldn't have cared about any of you. I really wouldn't have. And I would have acted like I cared. But in the end, I didn't have the capacity to love. Because I was still caught up on all that hurt. I couldn't I was too defensive to love anybody else. I couldn't open myself up like that, man. But with God, man, I have a certain power when I walk around. The disempowered can sense it in me, man. They know that there's somebody who's gonna freaking stand up for him. They know that there's somebody that's gonna actually do what the Most High says. Period. Boy, this painting is turning out cool. And without the judgment of the people, you know? So I hope I'm in that. I hope I'm in that remnant, you know? Once make it out of this bullshit circle, man. Because that's all it is. It's a cycle. You're going to go running after wealth and end up somebody else come and take it from you. It's vanity. You're going to put somebody down so that you can benefit. God come along and take it away from you. You get caught up on the chat again. Should be experimental. We'll try to get it, go about and write. Yeah. So me and Mike tonight are gonna do a split screen live right after Rihanna's thing. We might try to do like a test just to make sure the equipment works some point today. Mike, if you wanna call me Gangster Love, some call me Mo or Reese. We did decide on the concept I thought, and that was a dog running, or well, my a dog and piano keys. They just yeah, that's the idea. I tried to do a test board for it yesterday, and it didn't. It turned out being a cat. Oh yeah, this is from yesterday's live. It's not at all a dog and piano keys like I was aiming for, but it ended up being about what I'm preaching today. Yeah, we're doing me and Mike tonight at my time midnight, his time 9 o'clock are gonna do a split screen live of painting. So that should be fun. Y'all wanna jump through here later? That would be awesome. We're gonna do it right after Rihanna's live because we don't wanna, you know, we don't wanna get in the way of Rihanna's live. I really like her lives. I really do. I was really trying not to contaminate everybody. Just because I be cutting up with Zay. I don't know what it is about that guy, but he just pulls something out in me. And sometimes it's not so good, but but it's always amusing. I mean, I'm entertained. So for the tree trunk, I'm really going to utilize the brush's natural motion to get the texture of the bark. So I try to get the paint. First of all, just spread out where I want to get it, and then worry about texture. So I just get the main body of the tree. And this is the same grace offered to everybody, by the way. Same peace offered to everybody. If you will turn back to God and turn away from these idols, then you too will have this peace, man. And it's not about me turning you away, it's about God's going to point out to you. You hear what I'm saying? So I don't need to preach like that, man. I don't feel like that is truly beneficial to admonish someone. And for things that the Spirit was actually actively backing me in. It's like mind blowing. Be preaching the word and still be lying on the word. I guess that's really why I'm offended. That's really why I'm having such trouble with my forgiveness on this one is just because like it's kind of like I was fooled again. I thought somebody was somebody that they weren't. And so in one level I got to humble myself. And I know that, man. I got to humble myself and realize that I was that too, man. I don't know how many people I told off about drinking, drugs. I mean, and it's not that I was wrong, but it's that my heart was coming from a place of hate. And if it was coming from a place of love, and the times that it has been coming from a place of love, I actually saw change. I actually saw what I was praying for. But the times that I came at no way, I'm gonna be right. I ain't see nothing. I ain't see nothing, cause I'm not right, cause God's right. Period. And every single one of us has got to go through the dark, stumble, and try to find our way. I say I like being part of this group because we encourage each other, and we're not trying to make anything out of anybody. You hear what I'm saying? I once had a false prophet. Well, I don't believe he was completely a false prophet. I think that God used him in my life, but I had a series of three people. The first one was a homeless guy who who told me he believed in God, and the time that it took me to drive him into town, told me he believed in God. He was almost to my house, like way out in the middle of nowhere, and and I ended up giving him a ride back into town. He said he went the back way all the way here, so he had been walking all night long and into the next day. So I picked him up and I took him to the McDonald's, and we got a little bit of food, and he wasn't trying to be judgmental with me. He was just trying to be like, seeking comfort because he had been walking all day. So we sat down and we were reading, and man, the Spirit was just telling me, like, stay, don't go nowhere. Just hang out for a minute. And so I did as long as he said to. And then when it got time to go, I went. Well, this prophet, this one, he was not boastful and smacking me in the head with the scripture or anything, but simply making me walk out the calling to be a comforter, to be a help in this. The next one was a college age kid who had been hitchhiking all the way across my state, and all three of these were like, go down this road and get ready for this kind of situations. Can I mention the Spirit was backing each one of these? And so the second one was a college age kid, and he came with the full scriptural knowledge of the love of Christ, and he told me that he's never felt so free as when he was on the road. Um, and that all along his journey, he was having a hard time where he was at home, and so he was out on the road trying to find God, and God has been showing him where he's supposed to go. He'd been telling him what was going to happen. He said he had been providing for his every need. Man even offered me gas money, like, and he was broker than me for sure. I, of course, didn't take it and ended up turning it back and did what the Spirit wanted me to do. And so I wanted to bless him even more because he came with the trueness of the Spirit. The third prophet was the one that was offensive, and he's the one that made me know that this guy that I was dealing with had a religious spirit on him. Because the third prophet, he met me in the Walmart. He saw my keychain, which has the Jesus symbol, the fish symbol, like a carabiner on my car keys. And the man says, "Oh, what's that mean?" And so I told him I believe in Jesus Christ. I've seen amazing things. There's no way that there isn't a God, and there's no way that I found him except through forgiveness that was given to me by Christ, because I was not able to forgive myself, right off the bat. But this guy, he takes me, he sits with me and talks for a little bit in the Walmart, and then we go to depart, and he gets my phone number, and then he asked me to go out to eat, and so I went out to eat with him, and then he talked with me in the car. Well, in his car after we ate or whatever. So this guy, he was all about convicting me. He said because I smoked weed, I was making bad disciples. He said, well, like, what kind of people are you going to draw around now? Giving you, I mean, you guys are one kind of people. I draw this kind of people in my real life, like in my offline life. I draw very, very heartful people who are dead loyal, like I am. Dead fucking loyal. Okay, the ground rattled a little bit when I said that because it is true. I'm very blessed when it comes to the people that come around me, because they have even I've seen people that believe in all kinds of things, but when it comes to the Spirit, they think like I do, and they're about the same mission that I am. And so I'm very blessed. I know exactly what kind of disciples I make, and that's people that are loyal and that are humble and that love to see the Most High move. And they can tell you stories, my friends, they can tell you stories of how God answered. I can tell you stories about them, how God used them. So this third prophet, he comes to me and he tells me that I'm messing up. Smoking cigarettes is just the most evil thing, and he's just I'm never gonna see the healing of Christ as long as I have these crutches. All the while, he's telling me about his church and how his minister is the best, and how his healing ministry did this, and how all of these things that are, I don't know, man, just like self boasting. It's like, what? Like, your ministry did that? No, it was God that did that. Period. It was that name that you're professing. It was Christ Jesus that did that healing. And so the man came out to me with this, and it really rocked me. It really did. It really messed with me. Because again, he had such a calling on his life, but then what came out was the enemy. So I hope with all this that I don't come off like that. I hope that I'm always humble enough to see how God can change people, because he does. Will, can, and has always. And he uses a contrite heart. He doesn't use the ones who think they know everything. What do you guys don't need healing. You're healed already. Look at you. You know. You know everything. What do you need to be taught? But he uses the ones that know that they are screw ups. Can you hear what I'm saying? The people that are humble enough to see that it's God doing the things and not them. He uses them. Now he may use everything. Use all things to those who love and fear him. He uses all things to benefit us. So he may empower certain ministries that are off in their doctrine, but for his reasons. But he will not let them stand. They will fall apart. And he will hold them to account for every soul that he sent to them. Just same with me. He'll hold me to account for every one of you guys. He will. And I'm going to be proud when I get up there and talk to Jesus about all these things that we've been doing. I'm going to be proud. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to say, look how you changed my friends. Look at the people that you put me around and how quick you blessed us. It wasn't us. We sure didn't deserve it. We are cool people. I'll tell you that. We are cool people. But no, it's God, man. We're cool people because he's made our hearts to be like that, man. I really hope this isn't all just coming off as ranting. I really hope that somebody's learning something from me today, because I've just been on this. I've just really been working with my heart over this situation, because it just offended me so much. Because he started going after my AI shorts. He started going after smoking. It's just anything that he in his mind could think of to go after me. He was after me, instead of being the encouraging, loving person that I thought I was going to be seeing. Then I see more godliness in some people that are called from the worst things than I do in people that are called from the church and seen a couple of bad days. I see more godliness in the people that God found in hell. And I mean that figurative and literal. The people that he left. No, there was nobody that was going to be able to bless me during my divorce. There was no one. My friends couldn't comfort me, but God did. God did amazing things. And they comforted me, and they kept me alive during that time. Straight up. And he kept me alive to empower y'all. He kept me alive to be through this, and so I can understand some of that hardship, so I'm not so judgmental. Because before that, I'll tell you the truth, I thought a lot of wild things about anybody who is not willing to be right there and being a father. But when it comes down to it, my situation just went nuts. It was completely out of my hands. I couldn't do anything more to be a good father, to be a good husband. It was just over. And it was really sad to me. But God was cleaning up a situation that I messed up, honestly. And he's done it great. He's done it great. On this side of it, I could say that he is absolutely, well, first of all, he got rid of a lot of fake friends. And he showed my true character to my true friends. But I get off subject. Wow, this painting is really turning out cool. I like its coloring. It probably will look better um, when it dries a little bit too, but it'll probably look better in different light. This light's a little glary still. Wow, what coloring. Get caught up on the chat. Hi, Coffee, by the way. Saw you out the corner of my eye. And I adore you. If you didn't know that, I'm so glad that I got put. And that morning, that's how it was. Most I was like, I'd been waking up. It's been 3 days solid that the Spirit would speak to me when I woke up and would tell me what I was going to do. And it seemed like things, puppy, I don't have a dog. It seemed like, things that maybe the world like wouldn't support. I mean, you would think it would be get up and put in a bunch of applications or something, but the Father would be like, show me faces of people in lives, or on the morning when I ended up talking to you for so long, said straight up, you're gonna get a call from coffee, and I didn't even have your phone number then. So I'm just saying, working for God is not the same as working for the world. It's just not. And then he used scripture to back up the whole thing. He used the scripture to back up the whole way of thinking about it, because work yourself to the bones for what? I think it was Ecclesiastes. Work yourself to the bones for what? What's it really going to benefit you? So I want to be doing this work because it's got benefits on the other side of it for sure. To feel content. Feel content. Feel like I'm actually doing something. And I mean, I used all my jobs that same way. I wasn't just there. I was there for God. This will all start to pop more when you put the outlinings around. Yeah, that was one of my earliest lessons, was who am I really working for? Because I can get paid their hourly wage, but it's nothing compared to the amount of, or the souls that I could be helping through that job, through being forced to be in a place for 8 hours with people. You'll get to know them whether you approve or not. So, look at that there. Ooh, that's not enough paint. Yeah, he does. And these gifts that he gives us are to encourage and empower each other. They're to bless each other. We will benefit from them. But really, it's about being able to show people that God is real, man. That just his character, we can really show his character, because he will change us into him. He'll change us more and more into his kind of heart, into his kind of love, through his spoken word and through his written word, and they will confirm each other. I hope my heart's pure enough, because what if this is the end? What if this is the end? What if this is the time and I miss my calling because I got a judgment over something that's not scriptural? I sure hope I don't miss that call because I got a big old head. That would suck. Wow, that is really looking cool. Yeah, it does. It's supposed to be toris tree coffee, or more of that backlight effect, like what her tree was doing. I call it shine and shine, rust and won't keep us close to self. Art rules. I call it shine and shine rests. Huh. I don't really know how to translate that one. It's moments like that. I do wish we had like a. I wish there was like a voice record option, because there's certain things that just don't translate right into words, especially when you're talking about things like this. Oh, it does look good. All right, so then just to give it a little more depth, I'm gonna go along the bottom here and put some weeds and with this lighter green here. Yeah. So if you haven't been to Tori's Live, guys, it is an elder camp, but it is always a good place just to be able to hang out. She's very much non-judgmental. She is a Christian, but she doesn't beat people in the head with the scripture. She's just there to show the fruits of Christ, man. She just doesn't do that. You be they be goofy in there. It's definitely it's definitely be goofy in there, but she comes on as often as she can with the sunset, and it's just a great place to hang out, as Coffee will tell you. Um, I especially love the way that she does this work because she's so non-judgmental with it, and she's discerning over people, which is pretty cool. I mean, for those who don't know and those who do know, it's so we're text based on this here platform, but when you put something in, you kind of feel the spirit behind it sometimes. So a lot of times I've seen her feel the same spirit I did, and it's just like, oh no, or one of her moderators will, and then it's just like, no, I'm good. But yeah, I really love her chat, even though I don't really say a crazy ton in there. I pretty much just sit back and let the Most High inspire me. Honestly, I usually use that time on her live to just pray and think about. Well, yesterday I was thinking about this painting, but normally it's just all the ways that God's blessing us right now, you know, and just celebrate a moment. And nobody in there is all judgmental, nobody in there is trying to prove a point so that they can be right. And I just really thoroughly appreciate it. That's why I go through as often as I think of it and tell her, because I know a lot of people don't say nothing, but tell her about the community that's being built around her, just to remind her, because it's pretty awesome to me. My community is cooler. Yeah, I definitely get blessed with drawing in the very coolest people, I think, personally. People that will watch after each other everywhere on here, too. Personally, I think this is more Christly than a lot of stuff that I've seen. I'm not watching the chat at all. I probably should. Hi, J Royal. Aw, should I have mutton chops or go handlebar or what? My gang, what's up? I gotta go back and see what Mike's talking about. Which kind of mustache? Keep in mind that most of us haven't even seen your face. So, boy, you somewhat cease to exist, especially your ego. They aren't ready to let that go yet. Yeah, for real. For real. The idea, what am I? Yeah, remember those tornadoes you drew, Rome? I've dreamed of those before, like many, for sure. I haven't dreamed about tornadoes, but I've been being told about the famine, and then this whole egg thing going, and I've been told about an invader that's gonna be crueler. Thank you, Rome Dog. Your AI is solid, Kevin. All herbs are for man. Exactly. I call it shine and shine rust. Yeah. Shine means expression and rust means loss of practice, right? Hi, Zay. Welcome, welcome. You can hear for sure. All right. So to rehash the message of this painting, to be in a way that God is, in a way of being patient, long-suffering, gentle, to align yourself with the fruits of the Spirit. If your message is coming from anywhere but a heart of love, then it's not God, but yourself. Please don't be deceived. It will be found out. The Spirit tells on everybody. The Spirit tells on me. The Spirit tells on me. So don't be boastful. Don't take that leavening of the bread thinking that one person's blessed and another one is not. Because even our enemies, even people that are little child molesters, people that you would not want to be on the same level as you, but they are the same ones that are being called, even right now, because they'll believe in God. They'll know it wasn't themselves. In fact, even more than maybe we will. He even gave the people that did messed up stuff to me when I was a kid, he gave them every last chance. And these are truly wicked, satanic people. Every last chance to change back to his way. So I figure if he can do that for my enemies, I should be able to do that for my enemies. Or at least forgive them and see where they're at. Try to empathize even with the most wicked. Just see. So a lot of times all that stuff is just fear. It's just trying to be something. Because they're afraid that there won't be anything. Trying to dominate something because they don't have control of themselves. So I should be in that same way, huh? Long suffering, loving, patient, not boastful, not, oh, I got clean. Oh, the Lord forgave me of my sins, but you owe him still. No, man, I'll be held to my own sins. Feel what I'm saying? Now we're gonna do a little highlighting. Thank y'all again for coming on and hanging out with me today. I hope somebody's getting a blessing out of this message. It's just been rolling. I tried to get over it all last night. Just tried to uh, forgive him, and I guess this one's a little bit deeper than that for me. But I mean, I have had a lot of religious spirits fuck with me because they try to make it something that it's not. Try to mess up the calling, but they try. Never been successful before. Because if they don't line up with that Galatians, they don't line up with that. I want y'all to know that trap, that trap of I'm sinless, you can only be like me by doing what I say, that is not the truth. That is a lie, and they're trying to put themselves in the position of God. Anyone who's humble enough in the spirit will, and they'll know because you line up with that Galatians. They'll know because they see what they're in love with in you, just like I see what I'm in love with in all you guys. Because I'm never trying to bow down for my congregation. You understand? I'm never trying to say, um, I'm never trying to put you guys up there. I'm saying, oh, allow some things that are gonna hurt people. But I also have to trust God and know that He's gonna keep things going like it should. And on the weed thing, man, if it hadn't been for weed, look, if it hadn't been for Jesus, that the whole situation would have never happened. Honestly, I was marked in the flesh as his. I mean, it's a very special injury that I have, and it was from witchcraft. You hear what I'm saying? A dude put a curse on me, and then the next day I couldn't sleep, and then the next day my eye happened. So man, and right after that, I'd already been smoking a little bit, but right after that, it was like it's like anywhere I went, I was in a little bitty town with not a lot of people in it, and I was shown right to where the weed was, like brought right to the house, literally, even in my half-sided state, literally to the doorstep of the house, and then I met the people inside, and then what I mean, there was the opportunity to tell them the goodness of Christ, man. But if it hadn't been for her, my life would be a whole lot more painful. But in all of it, I know that it's God bringing the healing, God bringing the herbs, you know. And when I was weak in it, and I said, well, I don't want to be throwing out something that's fake. So, and I don't want to get myself involved with people that are fake just because I want to get some weed off of them. That's dumb. So, in the middle of that, I said, my Lord, can you give me some way, a legal way to not have to be in pain like this? And then, literally a week later, Indiana, where I'm at, passed a law that had to do with that THCA. Um, and so I had a supply right after that. I mean, I don't think that that would happen like that if it weren't for God being with it. And I think that they should legalize, 100% legalize weed, because it being illegal means that people have to go through the drug dealers, and the drug dealers are hardly ever. I was very blessed, and I only was messing with potheads. Most of them even they dealt with all kinds of drugs. I think cocaine and pot are on the same level? No. You know what I'm saying? But because of its criminalization, and also in a way of religious understandings, that because of its criminalization, it was attacked. When it was only criminalized out of racism, it was only criminalized so they had something to take the Mexicans back across the border with. Look into your history. Well, they decriminalized alcohol because it was a thing that people were making a lot of money off of. They criminalized weed at the same time because it was a thing that foreigners brought in with them. It had nothing to do with being a distraction or not having a sober mind. Because a sober mind is your heart with God. It's not about substance. It's about whether you're able to do what he says to do, whether you can look at a thing like he does, soberly, in realism, realistically. So, anyways, I know I'm preaching to the choir on this one. You guys have all been alive at the same, about the same amount, and you've seen the same progression I have as far as the ganja goes. I'm very happy that they're moving towards legalizing it and decriminalizing it because of that. Because there's a lot of people who, I mean, if I hadn't been for ganja, I would have been on Lord's apps, and you guys probably would not have known me. I would have probably OD'd by now because I didn't have the self control for such a powerful drug. But all the while, they were telling me that I was damned because I smoked weed. That I couldn't talk to God, even though I'm actively speaking to the Lord. God tell me I can never talk to God. I can never get into heaven because of something that went in me. That is more ridiculous. That's like saying if you ever ate pork, you're never going to heaven. That's a lie too. It's not what goes in; it's what comes out. So the thing hurts your heart. Yeah, maybe issue if it affects your ministry in a way. Maybe an issue, but it's not goes in. Well, I'm really on fire in this one. I think this is probably the most passionate talking about things I've ever done on here. So at least I'll give glory to God in that, because I doubt that this dude had any idea that all of his egotistical judgments yesterday would spark up all this overstanding, huh? Just all that just limits God, man. When we should be a humble heart. I got my debts forgiven. I didn't deserve it. I owed him far more than I could have ever paid. He would have, he would have fully been justified in punishing me. The courts would have definitely been justified in getting 10 times back what I stole. But he had grace on me and showed me what it really was to be about your word. He showed me what it really was to own something in him that they can't take it away from you. He showed me a lot of very deep things. I'm gonna get back here. Oh, I love you guys so much. I seen it. Y'all seen it. God knows our hearts. Amen. Those is looking good. Thank you. Let's give you a flip around here while I read the comments. Ooh, that glare is wicked. Here we go. Doing a little more detailing on the tree. Her tree's quite a bit different. This is more like um a shorter tree. Hers one goes all the way through the whole screen. Very tall tree. Damn insurgents. Biscuit brings me her bowl. Aww. How's that new puppy going? Sorry, I've been concentrating on all this stuff. It's just a plant. I mean, and I could come on here and tell a whole lot about what I know. I could come on ganja were burnt as burnt sacrifices. It's called sugar cane. I can come and tell you, I can come and tell you a lot of things in the way of why weed is not so sacrilegious. Even different healings that some of the herbs that Christ put in his mouth and chewed up and put on the blind man's face, some of those were sugar cane or sugar. Oh, I'd have to look it up. It's in Exodus, I think. Either that or Numbers. But it definitely does say that is the derivative. That is what ganja comes from. Just as in the story of Noah, it says that the animals that then developed into rhinos and giraffes, it says them by their name at the time, which was a slightly different creature than what we have now. Well, with ganja, they've taken it and they made it into a synthesized crazy monster. So I'm not gonna lie, those Old Testament cats got a load of what we're dealing with now, but still, man. I mean, I was taught as a Rasta. I was taught as a Rasta. I know that's the medication for the healing of the nation. I know that God is using that thing and He's bringing us together. And if anything, that should serve as a humbling thing, you know? It says, I need healing. That's why I'm coming to Christ. Because I heard He does some healings. I'm sick. I heard He helps. I'm ignorant. I heard He educates. Yeah, this is pretty much. How long have you been doing art? Uh, a long time. When I was in middle school, I had this art teacher named Miss McQueen, and she just lit something in me. I don't know what it was, but just everything that I took in that class, I was trying to do again. And ever since that class, everything just kind of changed. My passion for art, my passion for sketching and making faces and all that comes from that class. So I'd say seventh grade, eighth grade. But I've been doing art before that, but not like this. And then my mom, when I was in high school, um, well, yeah, before my injury, my mom set me down and explained a lot about art, about how to use different tools like a projector. Um, she showed me a lot about art. But the majority of what I really ate up was from that middle school teacher, and she didn't even know me. I saw her years later, and she just like didn't even know me. That's cool. That's cool. Teachers in school would literally tell me school isn't for me. I should take my craft serious. Yeah, I think if female teachers were trying to smash, it could be, man. I had that math teacher. What can I say? For real, I had a math teacher that was dating two boys in the class, and they were in the same class, and they were both little gangster kids. And so, I mean, I knew him from juvenile hall. Who am I gonna lie to? And then I had them both in the same class, and they were both actively dating this teacher. One day, and nobody would say nothing. None of the students were trying to snitch anybody out, because they were afraid of these two guys. So one day I saw these guys. They're like doing childish middle high school things and like writing what like their initials together in a heart. And so one of them did this, and then the other guy got offended at it, and then they ended up in a fist fight, and then ended up seeing him in juvenile hall again. It's been a wild world. I was not trying to hit it with that teacher though. I was like, girl, you need to get some other pants. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, I can't learn math. All I'm seeing is two. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's been a wild world. Ooh, yeah. We should put out like a stream coming out of here. That would be cool. That would Yeah, Mike, listen to coffee. That honestly, coffee, um, maybe not entirely, but the majority of my stuff came from places that I followed coffee through, back through and sub up. That's how I found my way to Nikki's. That's how I found my way to Tori's. That's how I found my way to Pre's likely. But here, this Pre room, I don't really talk in Pre's room. Pre is wild. I love her with all sweet lady. For real, that is a real lady. She's not trying to put on no front for nobody. It don't matter. Bitch. Yeah, I'm glad I found that one too. I said it before, I say it again. If y'all see coffee in YouTube land, sub whatever room you find her in. Congratulations on Itachi going live. I think he's probably, I haven't seen him today, so he's probably off in the real world. Might just cover over these weeds just to make them better next time. Make sure I get the lining of the creek right. Picture. I laughed so hard Friday, I passed out and the live was over. Free's so funny. Yesterday she's on, so she's, ooh. Sometimes I start to say something and I gotta stop. Think about how I really want to say it. Pretty so funny, dude. She's on there with her face wrapped up, and what had happened was she had her dad in like a nursing home or a hospital kind of place, and this I think or maybe at the house. I didn't quite catch that part. And then her dad's arms on his bed broke and spilled her out into the floor, or spilled him out into the floor. So the next day she comes back and she says, I'm just gonna sleep on there. I'm gonna sleep on this bed, and if it does it to me, then I'll go ahead and get it fixed up. But maybe it's just something messed up in the bed or whatever. Or maybe it's just my dad rolled a funny way, you know. And so she sleeps in this bed, and then she ends up falling out and busting her face. So she says, I couldn't come on yesterday because I was in the hospital. And then so somebody, and I watched this live for maybe like an hour, you know, just because she's just so amusing. Her character is so dope. Um, and she's like, first she told everybody this story, you know. I slept in a bed that I knew was gonna spill me out. I should have known better. My dad slept in it, and same thing happened to him. And so I just wanted to make sure. So then she says, and we gonna big bank. We gonna start a honky tonk in Texas with Kathy and PT, and then we're gonna start a honky tonk in Texas. But I can't go there because I'm a black lady, and they'll try to kill my ass. Keeps going. And I could just stop back in a little bit later, and like all the regulars were gone, and but she still had all of her face wrappings on, you know. And somebody came in and they're like, what happened to you? And she's like, well, I guess I just got to be careful who I mess with. And they're like, what are you talking about? What? There's all you damn trap beat makers. I didn't even know. They didn't like what I said on one of my lives, came through and beat my ass. I said, hell no. She's just making shit up. She's just one of these damn beat makers on here. I ain't messing with none of y'all trap niggas no more. That's what she said. I said, no. It got me so off guard. That lady's so funny. Uncare. Priest hilarious. She said, I ain't gonna mess with none of these trap mothers. Me neither. So yeah, if you see coffee anywhere, you should definitely sub that station. Get hours of laughter off of each other, you know. But there again, with Pre, like she got the right heart. You know, she's rough around the edges for sure. And she be very protective of the people. But that's the kind of loyal I want to be, you know? That's the kind of fun with life that I'm trying to be, you know? I mean, I understand our missions are different, but I don't ever want to be thrown off nothing but that, man. Just that kind of thing, because it'll encourage people to keep going. That's it. Don't give up. Don't be silenced. Stand up for somebody. Like Nisha's story with that phone jacker coming in, taking a little old lady's phone instead of her. It's like I've heard that story over and over in different places. I just don't get why people don't stand up for each other. So if there is anything in my people, that there is one thing, is when you're tested, if you come at it in a way to not stand up for somebody because you're afraid, and that really shows me character, man. But on here, what do we got to lose? In reality, out here, there's stuff to lose by claiming God. There's stuff to lose by standing up for the person that everybody's trying to pick on. And you could just end up on that cutting block yourself. Which for me is fine. I could take that cutting block for sure. They ain't gonna be able to do nothing to me. Every time I've been in situations with people that were much more powerful as far as the world's power, more money, more influence, these kinds of things, Most High empowered me. And he gave me the words to say, and I saw through their life. You understand? I saw through their life that can move me in a way to be more empathetic. It's easy to demonize someone. But if you can know that God can bless them right where they're at, I'm just saying, he stood up for me. So I'm hoping that out there y'all are standing up for somebody, encouraging somebody like you encourage me for sure, and not be so judgmental of where they're at, but more pray for blessings for them, because you were in the same place. You're in the same place, honestly. I was in the same place, honestly, and I didn't deserve that forgiveness any more than anybody else. I didn't deserve real life, but real life was given to me. Certain freedom that people just don't have, man, was given to me. A certain power that people just don't have. Boy, that fire is just burning in my chest today. Yep. Fear and cowardice is taught every day now. It takes real hard to show a difference, corny or not, right? And God will call you right where you're at. Amen. No, I just kind of mentioned it yesterday. This one didn't turn out. This one didn't turn out quite like I was thinking either. I was thinking more of a black background, but I'll put it on community. Usually Tori sees my community stuff. I did tell her I was gonna paint this. She cooks us sometimes, yeah. As long as they're not kids, I'm down. Just kidding. I'll figure out something soon. What? Be playing Zay's song and starting with "I Hate You, Baby" on repeat though. Just don't play that N-word song. I'll be all right. I'm gonna start a short roll of dropping shorts to grow. Yeah, Mike. I'd love to see anything you put out. You got like 3 things on your YouTube page. I checked this morning. I hope so. I hope so. I got a little bit more detailing to do on the tree. It still looks pretty monotone. There's not really much going on it. It's just kind of brown. And then the leaves are still shining through. And so in certain still shining through the background. So in certain spots I want to go back through and thicken up the leaves a little bit, like right in here, where you can still kind of see the daylight right in this area. So I want to go back through. And of course get the blue out. So I am very close. And I hope that when she does view this that she likes it. But also I hope that she understands um the sub message in this one, because this is probably one of the most um heartful speeches I've given in this on this platform, period. I'm just so I don't know, it's like I'm hurt, man. It's like I'm really hurt again. But I can't be hurt, man. Because really I'm just at a similar light as me. What can I be offended as that? Or that he was doing things that he's been taught, like what how can I be offended really? But the subtext and the subtext of this one would of course be that Tori is in a lot of ways more of a Christian in my eyes than a lot of people, because no matter who goes in there, she doesn't judge. She does say this is an over 18 chat and you're likely to get kicked out if you're not over 18. But she doesn't I've never heard her just beat people in the head over stuff. She just is an open door and people can come in and hang out and just be in peace and have communion with each other. Just have fellowship with each other for a minute. And that's what I'm trying to build here too. So I hope that this message was not as random as it may seem, or really from a heart of being hurt by the false ones, but more of a heart of like, man, you could be doing it right. We could actually be out here trying to save people, trying to send people towards Christ instead of towards ourselves. Because I'm telling you guys what, when you're in trouble, you're not gonna have much luck trying to get what you really need from me. I'm gonna be able to give you anything that I have, anything that I know, but it's still not going to be what you need, man. What you need is God. What you need is the Spirit to show you how to handle the situations. So I'd say no one should be changed, baptized in a way that they think, oh, I'm going to be like Kevin. Who the fuck is Kevin? Kevin is dead. For real. And if it weren't for God, I would be definitely would be a suicide. There's no question in my mind. There's no question. But that he told me to stop. He told me how to stop those thoughts. He showed me how to get out of that mentality. If it weren't for that, definitely. And absolutely no question in my mind. If God hadn't shown me he was real and that life was actually worth living, I would have killed myself. There's no fucking question in my mind. But because I know that God is real, I can never. Because he's put real relationships in my life, I can never be a faker. I could never. Because I'd be leading people in the wrong way. Because he's put this power behind my words, I have to watch the things that I say and make sure that my heart is right. Because when they're hard off, are they going to remember that guy who told them off? Or are they going to remember that guy who would try to encourage them? Which one's going to lead them to God? My knowledge or his knowledge? My heart or his heart? And I'd hope that it all kind of goes into one. I mean, what I want is the things that God wants. That's where I want to be. What I care about is not what goes in, but what comes out. So to that false man, when he finally gets to this, because I know he will, because his spirit will want this, because it will verify something for him. I hope that you hear my message purely too, man. It is never too late to turn away from your own ideas and see the work that God's doing today. It is never too late to away from yourself, your ideas. Now, if they're backed up by the Spirit, whole different thing. But the kind of treatment I got yesterday, saying if you did that to a lesser person, would that build up somebody? No, it's just going to rip them down. You don't go after something that the Spirit's going after me for, then it would be confirmed, and I wouldn't be mad at you. I'll be taking my grievances to God. Why do you think this about me? But because you don't come with something that came out of your head, it is confirmed to be the devil's words. And it was confirmed by two Muslim ladies. You hear what I'm saying? Speaking the knowledge of this earth. Come on. You're giving this light for a reason. Giving this platform for a reason. Right. Boy, that is looking good. Oh, yeah. Hi, Richard. Hi, Rihanna. I'm going to skim through this thing again. I think we're getting to the end of this painting. I might do a little more detailing on the tree. Actually, it looks a bit like that tree of life in Africa. It's a bit shorter, and the leaves and branches are more spread out and more dense. But it does look a little African plainy, huh? Yeah, if you guys haven't subbed up to Mike, you should do that. Me and Mike are gonna do a live tonight, split screen at midnight my time, 9 o'clock his time. Mike has been a good friend to me since the very first moment. No animals. Ooh, what am I doing? Oh no! The very first moment. Just as most everyone in here, honestly, like I am so grateful for the kind of people that God puts in my life. Hi, mint chocolate chip balls. I don't. Uh, where'd you come from? Did you just slide in here? Oh, you're from a different life, probably wherever Richard just came from. Yeah, Mike's getting close. I think he was like 27. Man, for the not just like not the amount, not the anything like that, but the character y'all come with, just the heart that y'all come with. Oh, especially you, Richard. I actually took notes from you, the way that you say hi to everybody. Um, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, by Nightbot. That's confusing. All right, Richard, I did that. Is that really nobody, or is that Nightbot? Because I don't actually think that I have Nightbot on here. All right, mint chocolate chip balls. I threw you as a moderator so you can um so that you can sub up, comment on somebody's like so they can see your thing. 5 seconds though. I do wish that because I know it's not Nightbot. If it is Nightbot, then I'm probably gonna get that shit off of there because that's annoying. It's supposed to do other things. Is it nobody? I put in timeout. Yeah, I tried to put Nightbot on my thing and I could not find where to copy and paste the link that it gives you in the app. So I did not have it on here yet. But when I do get it on here, I've got it set up with prompts. So you can say cool stuff. The program does a lot to like show me a lot of the analytics. Cool. I don't mind keeping you as a sub on your backup account just in case another day you want to come in and back people up. A sub. I mean a moderator. Moderator. Yeah, so this is about it. I probably got a little bit more detailing to do with the small brush. Put a little more texture on the water. Densing up the tree a little bit. Just use lighter and lighter colors. Or in the water's case, use a darker color. Get a there, that's much better. So this one's to Tori. Thank you for all your community building. I have personally benefited many times. I hang out in your live a lot and you don't even know it. Because I don't feel the need, I don't need recognition or anything. I'm not there for that. I'm not here for that. But up because people need support, you know. It sounds like some Discord shit. Oh, Rihanna, you should get Nightbot on your channel. That would be so funny. You could set it up with prompts. You would actually do better with like Steam Streamlabs because there's like games and stuff. Definitely. Coffee says, Kevin, you can delete comments off your content and block scan managing mods. Yeah. Mike says Twitch uses them too, kind of weird. Then they're on YouTube considering the type of comments that frequently yada yada. Yeah, it like block actually YouTube's filters a lot of times do weird things. Like I had a was blocking stuff like thumbs up, like and subscribe stamps. Just weird stuff. um but I don't know. It might be a pretty it might be a pretty good app to put on here. I would love to see something like that in yours, Brandon. Then that people could be messing with it, yelling points at it all day and gambling. There's all kinds of stuff on there. I heard one it did you would play Uno with it. I don't want no AI doing anything for me. I hate robots. They all done by Nightbot. He Will Smith. So Nightbot is not actually Nightbot. Nightbot is nobody. If you haven't been to Hootville, you should. Um, Ever since nobody showed up, he's always on everybody's site. Every time you go live, you see a little wave from nobody. He's just all around a good guy. His station's a little wild sometimes, but yeah, that's for sure, Mike, to get the lighting right. Oh, coffee, did you get your paintings yet? Since I have you on here. Speaking of coffee and donuts, and at least that would be nighttime, so that might help the lighting a little bit because you can control it a little better. Oh, it should be there today. I don't know. I hope. I wrapped it funny, so maybe the postmaster didn't like it or something. It hasn't been returned. But if you don't hear from those paintings in the next couple of days, then I'll find a way to send some money back to you and then start again. 'Cause if they got lost in the mail somewhere across the country, that would suck. But it would suck more to have you be out of money and then nothing to show for it. Well, I'm wobbling a lot. Get a little more stability on my camera. Yeah, yeah, Rihanna, we're gonna be in your live tonight. Or yeah, mine too. Mine is too coffee. I've heard horror stories from my post office though, like sending stuff and then it just never gets there, or it's sitting in the post office for a few days when it's a direct ship of 3 days and it was sitting in the post office for 2 days. What was I waiting on? I don't think anything. So there's probably not done. I probably got a little bit more to do. Are you getting drunk tonight, Rihanna? Is that what the live is tonight? See, that's wild too, coffee. I get things quick from New York. You wouldn't want me in your live, Rihanna. I get a little out of topic, especially with beautiful women. Richard. Oh boy. Rihanna drunk. Oh boy. I mean, I would not want to do makeup drunk, like maybe just my one-eyedness, but I wouldn't want to stab myself or nothing. Be careful, Rihanna. It's like, oh, what's up, guys? Smack the camera over. That's that's the kind of shit I do when I'm lit. Which, for the record, I don't drink a lot at all because I've seen so many people messed up by it. But again, I don't have any drunk makeup is gonna be crazy, but I don't have any room to judge anybody on anything. It's for real. I really don't have any room to judge anybody. I'm starting sober so y'all can see the progression. Smeared lipstick. Rome Dog you should see, and Tara. I get a little wild in there. Yeah, Tara's a good one too. That's another place kind of like Tori's where it's really peaceful. She usually does horizontal shots off her computer or something, but she's just very, very peaceful. And some of those late nights, like that was definitely where I needed to be. And so I just sat and chilled and watched y'all talk. Panda eyes and Joker smile makeup. We are ready for you. Yeah, that's more like whiskey drunk though. The twins are asleep. No, I'm just playing. Where have they been? Have they been? My YouTube hasn't been sending me notifications of anybody. Um, my first subs that I showed up to was Nisha's, and it's not showing me anything for Nisha. It's not showing me for anybody. So I don't really know if the twins have even been going live lately. I hope so. I jumped in one a couple days ago, I think. Yeah, and then I noticed on certain on a lot of yeah, I have to go to your emblems and to go to your lives. On yours Tuesday. Um on Rome Dogs too, I had to go back to my subscription list and then go to that particular profile. Thank you, Ryan. I particularly like this one. I particularly like that I had a good message today. That's been the funnest part of this, I think. Although boy, it's kind of fiery. I hope no part of this was distracting. I hope that everything, all these seeds that have been planted in the Lord, will take root in y'all. That you see what He's trying to do with us, the kind of heart that He really loves, the kind of heart that He really loves, which is not somebody who knows everything, or trying to prove they're right off of somebody else's back. Yeah, I hate if you don't stalk your friends, they get lost on YouTube. One of my friends, you've been forcing it this past week. One of my favorites, you've been forcing it this past week. Who you talking to, Rome? Oh, got a lot of channels, Meat Coffee, some good ones, a lot of fishing and stuff. Fabian and Watts are the best. Right on. If you guys have any particular channels that you want to throw the at in here, you think the family would be benefited by, we've I mean, me personally, I'm always down. Hi, Tiffany. I'm always down for more places to be. Thank you, Zay. I wasn't really too incredibly impressed with this one from yesterday, just because I was trying to do like a dog in the center and then like boogeyman faces around the outside, and then it turned into this, which is funny considering what was going on in the chat. But just like all these other characters had all these other ways of understanding it, and then the cat is just sitting there like, huh. Distractions, man. Tell Tiff what the painting is, Zay. Before the community, I did like one live of painting, where it was one video of painting, but most everything before that was just me. Oh, I guess here we go. I'm gonna throw you as a mod so you can jump around and sub everybody. So this one is of Tori's tree, or it was trying to go for Tori's tree. I've still got a little bit of work to do. Like I want to put the sun in the back with paint markers and this kind of thing, but this is supposed to be Tori's tree, planted by the stream. And the message of it is um, when you do this service, that a heart of judgment can just scare people off and get them offended in the wrong way. Oh, this one. That's the one from yesterday, Raina. Kind of looks like something really strange, though. Oh, it's kind of like, whoa. That's the painting above. Hi, Larry. Larry, if you didn't know, your channel has put a little bit of a fever in my people to want to get want to get playing their guitars a lot more. Let me tell you, have anybody? I have everybody here does something or something one way or another. Cats reading the Bible, yeah, because that's you, don't you know? And all these false prophets got all the other ways. Understanding the Bible is all them, and yeah, I'm talking about Zay. Zay got personally influenced to play his guitar more. I sure have been trying to play my guitar more. And then Mike also put a little bit of fire under me, sending me a certain chord progression that just lit something. It just lit something in me to hear it like that, and so it all started again. But yeah, we definitely love the way you sing. We love the way you play it. We love the way you're humble on your lives. You just, yeah, dude, we need community spots like your room. So if any of y'all didn't sub up to Larry yet, go check out what we've been talking about for like the last month. It may be. Well, it's supposed to symbolize like all of the different understandings of the Bible, all the different false, well, anything that goes against the Bible is not of the Bible, right? So, and in the live, I had somebody with a, I mean, I want to say religious spirit. And then afterwards, I went to their live, and then they tried to tell me off about everything, about using AI, about smoking, about everything they could, but it was all not from God, and and then it was repeated through another live of somebody who was a Muslim, two ladies that were Muslims, and they both were trying to, yeah, I'm getting more in line with the Bible. Fisticuffs? Yeah, I'm getting trying to get myself more in line with the Bible. I'm really trying to get myself more in line with God. I don't, it's not really, I just love the Bible because God can speak through it. Honestly, if it weren't for that, it would just be another book. There's certain, I don't know, Buddhist teachings. There's certain teachings that are all that, but it's not backed up like that. But it's not going to make it divided, though. What do you mean, the Bible? Yeah, Richard, I'm learning that I've got a lot of smokers around me. And I mean, I want y'all to be educated on a thing. You can't worship ganja more than you worship God. You can't worship the healing and not see the healer. You know, you're just gonna end up running out of weed. Just gonna end up running out, just to show you who's really providing it. Nice. I mean, I don't limit God to think that I have the right understanding because how could I? I mean, I haven't been alive long enough to know these things that I talk about. I mean, a lot of them, it's like I haven't. I don't know. I'm with that. I'm with that. All paths are are roads, and I think all of those roads will lead you back to Christ because He's the one who forgave us. But I also know there's a lot of bullshit out here, right? And it talks about in Revelation when we finally do get our holy cities and it talks about it in the first time around when it talks about building up Israel, but then it echoes it in Revelations when it says when we finally do get the holy cities, there will be a spot down by the river where there will be a plant there for medication and for eating. And I don't know like every plant in the genome, but that sure always sounded like ganja to me. Yeah, I try not to be religious, especially when I'm talking about something, some message of somebody else that the Spirit will check me because it's all about spirituality. No, religion's gonna save you. The Pharisees didn't get saved by their religion. But I mean, my understanding of the Bible, if it's not in a heart of love, then it's not how it's supposed to be, man. God bless the weary, right? He's the comforter. Yeah. Well, and that's what this whole reasoning's been about, honestly, is what are they leading? They're leading people to themselves. I'm gonna pull out everything that I think is you're doing wrong and then put that all in your face and then show you how I'm awesome. Like that doesn't do anything but lead people back to you. So then when they're in hard times, they're not gonna know to call on God like you did. That's terrifying. I don't ever want to baptize people into myself. Don't try to be like me. Try to be like God. Try to be like what I'm trying to be like. Show what it is to be real family because there's too much fake. Heck yeah, Larry. Nisha's on checked in with us last night, but that girl has been the most. I mean, her and Sophia. It's been her and Sophie every single live, everything I've put out. They have encouraged me and Nisha, especially in times that I was really frustrated with situations. I go and talk to her, and she is just an amazing, amazing person. I'm so grateful. Yep, me too. Yep, I had a church built right at the top of my neighborhood in an empty lot. Um, and I was up in that empty lot before the church was even built, and it was just like an old wood shack, and I was playing around in that wood shack as a kid, as a little teenager, and I remember praying that I would see I just wanted to be home. I just wanted a church family, and I'd been burnt out by a lot of churches even then. And then I just wanted to be in a place that was really God's home for me. And so right there in that little lot, they ended up building a tornado started, and I ran back home and hid underneath the toilet. And then like a couple weeks later, they started construction. A couple months later, I went up and went around the parking lot and rode my bike back and forth and just really tried to think about get reinvested with people because I had seen a lot of religious evil and I'd known a lot of God. I know what God took me out of. So I don't know. I had seen a lot of religious evil, so I prayed about it, and then He actually sent somebody out of an active service to come and then had me sit right next to them, and I got invited into that church family and all this. And some of those people are still in my life, and I'm quite a ways away from that town now, and those people are still. I mean, they're living here. It's no coincidences. Huh? Mike, are you talking to Zay? Oh, Nisha's taking a break. She definitely I thought you were talking about Nisha. I'm like, she definitely did not. She is not down to Islam. She's definitely not. Yeah, Ryan is a sweet country girl. She looks prettier without makeup. Just saying. But her lives are always fun. She has a very awesome moderator team and a lot of regular people who are just there to be to watch her do her makeup. And there are a lot of little kids. I'm just teasing. There's a lot of youth in there though, for real. But there's just very positive people over there. Richard, I'm glad you came through here today. I know you've been in my lives before, but I haven't really got to meet you that much except for your moderators and your moderator duties, but I do appreciate how you do that. How you be encouraging people, you be asking their age, but you also you just say hi to everybody. It's awesome. I've been taking notes. Yeah, little kids popping up and asking about the ears every 5 minutes. That's probably the biggest downside to that one, right? Us too. So here's hoping that Tori likes this one. Here's hoping that she comes back and maybe here's a little bit of the ongoing banter I've been on today. If y'all didn't sub up to Mike K, he's getting close. Mike's been a friend of mine on here since the first time that I walked into the twins room. And he's always been true to me. He's never come at me with no judgment, anything like that. He's just always been encouraging and supportive and taking encouragement too. Um, Mike is the shit. If you're not friends with him here or on IG, you should do that. Mike Smut. OJ Rose is live right now. I probably had to jump up there and throw up some tags. He's got such a professional one. It's not like a chat kind of chat. Tell him his birthday is tonight. Word, thank you, Richard. I'm a great person. Tell yourself otherwise, or let anyone tell you otherwise. Yeah, man. I'm real. Dude, I'm thing that I kind of knew, but realizing it in a less ego way that like there's something special here. This heart is kind of rare. I'll probably hop off here soon, and then and be ready to throw up on the community. Hopefully, hopefully somebody got some encouragement. Hopefully y'all see where my heart is on this one. This is a really intense talk. I feel like I haven't shut up for the last 2 hours. Um, but I really hope that you guys see my heart on this. And thank you over and over and over for being real, for not being fake, not being on here to try to get acceptance from people. You guys are on here to be good family members, and it means a lot to me. You hear what I'm saying? Py photography, pyrography, pyrography, or photography. That's probably what you meant. Oh, and if you haven't subbed up to J Rose, she makes candles. All the information about her website, ordering information, she sets pretty darn low prices for what she's doing, and it's all handmade. It all looks. When I come up on some money, I'm gonna be going over there and getting one of those candles with the popcorn looking. That's like one of the coolest things I've seen. And she's done a couple of custom order chessboards now, and I like the way that she does candle making because she's always inventive with it. She's always trying to push the bar a little bit. So if you see her on, definitely go and hang out with her. Go and show her some support because she's definitely worth it. Nice, nice. Ooh, I got. Well, this is not. This is a friend of mine made this. It's very special to me. He made it with the magnifying glass on a piece of board. So that's kind of what pyography is. On a Rome candle. Cool. Yeah, this is very cool. A very dear friend of mine, very good friend of mine. He said the amazing thing about this is that he sit down and did it all in one day. This was a friend that really blessed me, really still like he prays for me and I can feel it. I know he's praying for me. It's like I'm talking to him directly. Like, it's pretty wild that I actually have this relationship with this guy. But yeah, I have some wood burning stuff, but I didn't really get into it because it's so much easier to paint for me. But I've seen some really cool stuff done, and they have laser printers now that do wood burning. So I took a picture of my son and had it laser burned onto a cigar box, but my ex done took that thingy, gone and hit it because it was like $300 after labor and everything else. It took like 3 days to print, but so much electricity. So yeah. Damn exes. Yeah, dude. How long have I been muted? That's the question. Probably since I flipped the camera. Yeah, I want to see that electrocurrents. That sounds cool. 2 hours. Ooh, yeah, that's right. I can hang out with y'all until it's even 2 hours. Have I been muted the whole time? How long have I been muted? Am I muted now? Definitely delayed now. I can tell when I talk and then I'm watching my lips and just not lining up. Am I still muted? Anybody? How long have I been muted? Somebody? Anybody? Yeah, so since I flipped the camera around, it just muted me. Okay, I can deal with that. Like a minute max. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you for telling me. Well, got 45 seconds for it's an even 2 hours. How long is a piece of string? Mm, I heard somebody use string to explain existence. They said that all of life, everything in it, leads to the next. Just like a ball of string or thought can be like a ball of string that it just keeps going and it's all connected. I had to get back into that one. That was a pretty good parable. Pretty good way of putting it. Oh, I got officially at 2 hours right now. All right, please do I'll try to dig up that receipt. I think it's on my wallet, and I'll send you a better picture if you can't get the tracking number on there. But for noticing, I do believe it was 3 sevens in it, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm probably about to jump off here myself. Thank you guys for coming in and sitting through this here. Thank you guys for supporting me all the time. I hope really that through what I said today in this video that you guys are getting get that communication going. You guys see that why exactly I'm calling you guys my friends, why exactly I'm so proud of my group, why exactly I'm so very blessed by my individuals that God's bringing to me. Y'all are freaking dope, dude. Dope. I wish the whole world had a whole bunch of people with heart like you guys, just accepting and loving, and you're ready to bless people up. It doesn't matter. You're not here to judge what they on, what they look like. This is not about that, man. I'm not taking any of this lightly. So keep shining that light, and in all things lining up with Galatians, man, and long suffering, not holding yourself above anybody, because what you got is special. All right, I love you, fam. I'm gonna get off here. Give me some more coffee. On my heart, on my heart. You know this.